Hi, I'm Lita Leapin.
And I'm Jim Gordon.
And welcome to another edition of Our City Tonight.
Well, we're starting this episode out where we start every episode out here at Hubcast Studios in the heart of Vancouver.
And we've got a jam-packed show, so let's get right to Our City Tonight.
This edition of On the Town is brought to you by Genesis Richmond, a new kind of all-inclusive luxury experience.
Well, on the edge of Yaletown, because they're too cool to be in Yaletown, that's my opinion, we're here at a fabulous spot, a place we love to come to, very cozy, called the Homer Street Cafe, and we're with a gentleman who's going to talk to us all about cocktails today.
Yeah, and this building actually is two buildings. We are on, you call the Beasley side.
The Beasley side.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's gorgeous in here, but one of the things you do really well is cocktails, and Jim and I love tasting new cocktails.
Excellent.
So what do we have
James, what do we have in
today?
first?
So we have two of our house cocktails. Like I tell people, we're not a cocktail bar here, but we make great cocktails at the bar. We are a restaurant first that makes good cocktails. So these are our house creations. We have one that's kind of year-round, our Secret Garden. It's been our most popular cocktail for many years now. It is a blend of Beefeater gin. We have a little Saint Germain elderflower, freshly squeezed cucumber juice, some lime juice for acidity. We have a little bit of mint syrup that we make in-house, and of course, egg white for beautiful froth.
It's gorgeous.
Okay.
Very refreshing.
And this is a year-round drink, too.
It's
for you guys.
year-round.
Yeah, it's very
when it's raining, it makes you think of summer, and when it's summer, it's refreshing.
Oh, that's delicious, and that's one of your signature drinks.
That's one of our signature drink. It's been very, very popular.
This is now becoming my signature drink.
I don't think it's big enough for you there, Jim.
You put it in a
Okay.
pail for me. Okay. Our second cocktail.
So this one we put on the menu as more of a seasonal offering, more of a winter spice, a kind of comforting cocktail. It's called a Bronnier. Bronnier is a Welsh name, and it's a cottage that Jimmy Page and Robert Plant used to rent, and they wrote a few albums in there.
Yeah, they were with what band?
A great band.
Yeah, small band.
You never heard of Led Zeppelin, greatest band in the world. So this
Wow,
is
that's a statement. Okay.
it is true. It's a fact.
All right.
So this is a Canadian whiskey cocktail. So we use Pike Creek, which is a corn-based Canadian whiskey that's aged in rum barrels.
Okay.
We have a little Amaro Habano from our friends at Luxardo, which is a bitter ingredient. We have a little chai syrup that we make with a black tea with chai spice, a little bit of apple juice, so organic apple cider, and again, some egg white for froth. So nice, spicy, little whiskey, lovely.
Oh, that's got rainy
it's like
day.
velvet.
Rainy day written all over it.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so nice.
Delicious.
And I think we mentioned this, but just to make sure we did, both these are available year-round.
So this one's year-round. This one,
Seasonal.
it is seasonal at the moment.
I guess if you get enough requests for it, you probably would bring it out.
Absolutely. This is kind of why the Secret Garden stayed on. It's just so popular that even though it's more of a summery drink, it reminds people of summer in the winter.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Thank you for sharing two of your special
pleasure.
signature cocktails. But we are going to come back and taste a nice wine. Well, you need to have a really good wine program in a restaurant if it's going to do well in Vancouver. You guys have top notch. So what are we trying today?
So right now we're trying, it's one of the wines that we feature on our daily feature sheet. Sometimes, very small allocation. It's a wine called Kitten Swish, which is what we call the micro négociant. Brad Royale, he's a sommelier from Calgary, travels all over the world and does these little wine productions with different wineries. And we have this one made with David Enns at Laughingstock. So this is 100% Cap Franc, nice, fruity, light, pretty, delicious.
And local, we should say.
Very local,
Yeah.
and very exclusive as well.
And this is made for you.
This is, I wish it was made for me. There's only 50 cases made. We managed to get 5.
Oh, wonderful. Wow. Well, definitely.
We'll try this first. That's very nice.
That's lovely.
What would this pair with?
Does really well with our beef sandwiches. Our lamb dishes go well with the Kitten Swish. We have also a beautiful steak dish that pairs really well with this. This Cap Franc, it's got a lot of vegetable notes. It's got the beautiful spice of Cap Franc, but a beautiful pretty aroma as well and palate. So that's beautiful wine.
You know what? You've just led us beautifully into our next segment, which is coming later in our city tonight. We're going from cocktails and wine to excellent food.
Maybe we'll bring this wine over to the food.
Oh, that's happening without a doubt. Okay.
Excellent.
We're back at the Homer Street Cafe later in our city tonight.
This segment is brought to you by the Vancouver International Wine Festival.
Well, Jim, this is the third year we've come back to the festival taste for the opening of Vancouver International Wine Festival, and it's held here again at Blue Water in Yaletown. Very exciting. It's actually not as busy yet as it's going to be.
No, we got here early, so this room will fill up with media and wine lovers, and this is a great event. We love covering this because it's kind of the excitement before the event. Now, you're going to talk to Harry, who is our good friend and also the head of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. We're also going to talk to a few other people and enjoy this great evening.
Well, Harry, we're very excited because every year you have festival taste, which means WineFest is coming. So you do a little industry party in anticipation of the big fest. And it is, you have told me, the 41st anniversary of the Wine Festival. California's featured, and California was your very first theme.
What? The festival's next month already? You've got to be kidding me.
Yes, it
But
is.
it's true. We started way back in 1979 with just one winery, Robert
Wow.
Mondavi Winery. They're in the festival again this year, along with 159 other wineries from 16 countries.
Wow.
California is featured this year.
Very exciting.
And with a total of 54 wineries.
Cool.
54 events at the end of February. It's going to be a blast.
Are you going to still be alive?
Of course. we have great attendees. We have great principals from all the wineries. Over 400 volunteers, 25,000 people. It's a great celebration of wine for an entire week.
And this has been your passion. You've been a part of this festival for how long now? I can't even keep track.
I've been around that long, haven't I? Yes, I know. 17 years in all, but I've been to every festival since 1987.
Oh my
I love
God.
this festival. And that's why we have volunteers 10, 20, 30, 40 years. People come to this wine festival, come back again and again. And to celebrate that loyalty and that love that people have for this festival, we're giving away free tickets this year.
What?
Well, we want new people to come.
Oh my God.
So all you have to do is book a hotel at StayVancouverHotels.com. Book a hotel. Like, why just go to the wine festival? Come and stay in a hotel in downtown Vancouver, wherever you are in British Columbia, Okanagan, Vancouver Island. Book a hotel, get a free ticket, go to the festival, and guess what? Every wine you get to taste in the tasting room, you can buy at the on-site BC liquor store.
And that's what's exciting.
And they will ship 1, 5, 3 cases, whatever you have, 2 bottles to your nearest BC liquor store anywhere in British Columbia.
Wow.
I mean, you can just come in and have a party weekend, get all your wine shipped to your local store back in Dawson Creek. How good of a time is that?
Well, there's a lot of countries involved, 13 in fact, but I know you've got little countries like Croatia and Romania and Transylvania. Any favorites, any standouts that you would recommend?
Yeah, I know there's 160 wineries in the tasting room, over 700 wines, but I do have a favorite.
Oh, this is
And
breaking
my
news.
favorite winery is the one without a lineup. Like, why wait in line for your next wine and glass? These are 160 spectacular wineries. You can keep an eye on one that you want to go to a little later on, but if you see a table that's free, that's the one you go to, because
love
behind every table is the owner, the winemaker, the producer who made the wine in the glass. You want to talk to that person.
That's
you don't want to just stand in line.
That's great advice.
Let's taste some wine.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
need a
I know,
glass of
I need a
wine.
glass.
Well, I'm standing with a man who actually has the privilege and the bragging rights to say he has been at every single International Wine Festival here in Vancouver. Sid, it is great to have you. You've been at all 41, so this is your 41st year. You went to the first one in 1979. Can you talk a bit for our viewers about how this little festival grew into what it is now?
Well, sure. It's amazing to still be standing after 41 festivals, but it's been quite an experience. We started it way back in '79. I think the emphasis at the time was to try and educate the public. There were so many people that had a growing interest in wine, and there was not enough knowledge locally. It was all under the liquor board, and it was hard to get at knowledge, and so this festival served a great purpose of that.
Sid, with your expertise, what are you looking, not to show favor to anybody, but what are you looking for this year? What country or what wines have caught your eye that you can't wait to try?
Well, it's always stimulating with so many countries in 60-odd countries. We have a focus, as you know, this year is on California, and there's so many of that wine. But you look around the room here, we've got 37-odd wines that are really diverse. And like you've got wine here from Croatia that did so well last year at the festival.
That's great.
And they even got wines from Romania and some of these esoteric regions. There's so many areas in the world, like I would like to see a few more wineries from Brazil or Uruguay or some of these other things that aren't even represented in the liquor board. And every country in the world now is very proud of the wine they're making. Every state in the Union in the United States and every province almost in Canada.
Thank you, Sid. Listen, this guy's been at every one since 1979. And as you said, you're still standing. Good to see. Enjoy the wine again this year. Sid, thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, please come out and attend the seminars.
Well, Mark, again, we're here at the Festival Taste, a really exciting build-up to the Wine Festival. Now, this is the 41st, and you're keying in on California. Anything different about this year for you?
Well, California, I think it's exciting this year. California was the first wine festival way back in 1979. But California's come a long way since then, and particularly in the last few years, I think they've changed their style of their wines quite a bit. California used to be kind of renowned for very sort of oaky, sort of in-your-face kind of Chardonnays, and similarly with Cabernet, a lot of oak, very fruit-forward wines. And I think that California has really dialed back quite a lot in their style now. So if you're a fan of sort of French wine or Italian wines, I think you're going to find some changes in California when you try the California wines, and I think you're going to really enjoy those wines.
Interesting. What a great place to do that. Now, you've been involved in the big gala, the Bacchanalia Gala, that's really, really primed for the Wine Fest. What's up for this year?
Well, the gala is the principal fundraising event at the Wine Festival, and all the proceeds go to our charitable beneficiary, which is Bard on the Beach.
Yes.
This year, the theme is Sunset in the Vineyard. It's a very California theme again for the gala. The Hotel Vancouver always does an outstanding job with the food. They always come up with, it's not a regular sort of gala meal. You get a really special meal where the hotel chef has paired the wines with each of the dishes. We always do an international selection of wines, although there will definitely be some California wines at the gala. But you're going to see some really interesting wines, and actually, historically, we're pouring Robert Mondavi's Oakville Cabernet Sauvignon with one of the dishes at the end of the meal, which is a great wine. And we've got wines from all around the world, Italian, Australian, some other American wines. But I think it's going to be a very exciting event, and if you're a sort of food and wine person, you will love this event. It's really spectacular.
Well, it's great every year. I get to see it, and thank you so much for spending time. It's getting full again here, so I know a lot of people want to talk to you. So thanks, Mark, for spending time with our city.
Thanks.
This segment has been brought to you by the Vancouver International Wine Festival.
Well, Lita and I are here at a wonderful place in town, a big favorite in Vancouver called Shambar, and we're here to talk about not food today, we're here to talk about coffee because our city, like most cities, love their coffee, but a lot of people don't know about good coffee. We're with John Gray. He is the Q grader. We've never had a Q grader on our show in all the years. I don't know what that is, but we're going to find out. He is with One Coffee, and we're going to talk about your excellent coffee today.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What's interesting, we were here with you a year ago for your big launch of your One Coffee, and that was our introduction to your brand.
Right.
Now tell us what a Q grader is, as well as a little bit more about One Coffee.
Yeah, Q grader is the coffee equivalent of a certified sommelier. So there's very few in Canada. I think there's currently 18.
That's it.
18,
Wow.
and I'm one of them. So
Excellent. Wow, we're with fine royalty here.
Absolutely.
Now tell us a little bit more about One Coffee.
One Coffee is a fully sustainable coffee brand. So the coffees are sustainably sourced in that they are certified organic. They're certified fair trade. And that extends into the packaging as well, because we've gone to the extent of developing fully certified compostable packaging.
That's a big part of your story, which I like, and it's more important to a lot more people than it was 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
We were watching you earlier before we started filming. Again, if you've not had great coffee before, you don't know what you're missing.
Right.
Walk us through the procedure that you did so that we can just sip and enjoy.
Yeah, well, for the benefit of those at home and yourselves, I mean, this is the traditional cuppers method of coffee evaluation. So all the Q graders around the world, at Origin, at the brokerages that we access as well, everybody cups coffee the same way. So we've got a coffee sample, a whole bean sample that would be ground to a drip grind consistency. We've got that coffee measured out 8.5 grams per cup, and we have 170 mils of water that we've added to the cup. The coffee has been left to steep. It develops a nice thick crust or cap on the top, which we've broken and cleared. And the coffee is now ready to be tasted. And we've got each of 4 unique varieties
what do
here,
we have here, Joe?
that comprise the one coffee brand. So we've got a Colombian, which most people are familiar with. We've got a beautiful Ethiopian coffee. Ethiopia is the birthplace of all Arabica coffee, so it's very unique in that regard. We've got a Peruvian and a Sumatra coffee as well.
Okay, so we just sip.
Yeah, so the methodology involves an aggressive slurp. It's very similar to the wine tasting that you do.
You're good at slurping.
Very good at slurping.
So it's very important that you make a lot of noise. The benefit of that is that you aerate the coffee as you draw it into your palate, and your olfactory sense kicks in. It really heightens your ability to taste and appreciate the coffee.
Reminds me when I was in Italy back in
Yeah,
November.
There you go.
Oh, that is delicious. Good coffee.
And if you rinse your spoon, you can go to another one if you want to try something a little different. The Ethiopian is the hallmark of heirloom coffee.
Oh, wow.
This is so good too that you don't need anything in it.
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
Nothing to
Yeah.
accompany. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Can you tell people where they can find out more information? Because you're available across Canada, and
all
you're
of it.
also international now, are you not?
Yes, we are. So in Canada in particular, we have coffee available at Sobeys, Safeway, Superstore locations, as well as on Amazon, and we do have some distribution of that coffee into the U.S. as well.
And you definitely are competitive with any of the other brands that have the pods because you are compostable.
We are 100% certified compostable, and it's somewhat unique in the marketplace, and it is formatted to the Keurig brewing system, which is the most popular for single serve. So it's important that you can enjoy a single serve coffee without the guilt of contributing to a legacy in the landfill, if you will. It is a compostable
I like
product.
that. I like that. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to come back. It's one coffee in the spotlight, but we're going to come back and implement cocktails into the scenario. We're also going to tell you about a great event taking place here at Shambar with One Coffee. That's all coming up later in the show.
This episode of Our City Tonight has been sponsored in part by Gyrostone Limited, home exteriors that last a lifetime.
Well, we're here at the Whistler Film Festival, taking a little break from the duties of watching films, interviewing people. I'm here with a guy that you want to know, and a place I always stop in when I'm in Whistler, Andy Flynn, GM here at Brew House. Andy, first of all, thanks for welcoming us here.
Thank you.
For our viewers that may not have been here before, one thing I like about your place is that all your beer is brewed in-house. Incredible.
It really is. It's good. We have it all brewed upstairs, and we bring it down. We only sell out draft on tap. We have 4 regular beers rolling, and we have 3 seasonals ongoing, and we have up to about 15 to 18 seasonals a year.
Very nice. You know what's good too is that you can swing a stick in Vancouver or Whistler and hit a craft brewery. That's not a bad thing, but what's impressive is that you guys started doing this when you came to this spot 18 years ago.
Totally agree. Little cutting edge. 19 years ago.
19, I should say, yeah.
19 years ago, doing a craft beer anywhere in BC is a big feat.
Yeah.
Pulling it off in Whistler, what can be slow and busy, obviously, but you know, those days pulling it off was the Mark James Group was amazing.
And going back 19 years, what was the initial reaction to probably a lot of people that weren't used to this kind of scene, right?
That's a great question. It was funny because the brew house is a standalone building, and at that time, 19 years ago, it was definitely at the very end of the village in the woods.
Really? Oh, so I've been coming here a lot of years, but not that long. So you guys were what is now a bustling area, but this was not here before, yeah?
Yeah, at the Olympics, the Olympic Plaza, and you've got the brew house in the heart of it.
Wow. What? Okay, so you said 8 here. Is that what you've got?
We have 4 regulars, and then we have 3 seasonals. We're out of one right now, the Grizzly Brown.
Right.
But we have our 4 regular beers we run, and our 3 seasonals.
And from what we've talked about, boy, you really do have something for everybody. I'm having like a really clean, like a cool, clean lager. This is a nice for people that may not be familiar with the craft beer scene. This is a good start, yeah. And what about people can get some great food here too, yeah?
Oh yeah, we've got a full casual fine dining restaurant here. Everything from pizzas to salads to big meat plate items.
I gotta tell you, and you also have a train that's moving around above us that goes through the whole restaurant. Listen, thank you for having us here today. Continued success, and again, a place you want to stop into if you're a beer fan, it's the Brew House here in Whistler.
Thank you, Jim. Commissioner Jim.
Boy, I never heard that before.
So we're back here at Shambar with One Coffee, and we're here with Pilar to share some coffee cocktails as well as some really good complimentary food to the cocktails.
Yeah, tell us what we're about to sample.
So this is our Irish frappe. It has some Bailey's Irish cream, green chartreuse, and the 1 cup French roast. It also is served over crushed ice with some fresh mint and shaved chocolate.
Yeah, looks amazing. Okay, we
never sample until we go on TV, so here we go. Cheers.
Oh, that's so good.
I could drink.
Not sweet at all.
I could drink that in the morning instead of just coffee.
Right? Yeah, you just give it a little boost.
Our city tonight going this way. Okay, this is not sweet at all. I really like that.
Yeah, it's really easy.
And what do we got going on here?
Yes, wow.
And yeah, that is a spiced coffee ganache. So it's made with white chocolate ganache and the Peruvian dark roast.
From One Coffee.
Yeah, for One Coffee.
Okay, you keep talking. I will be the
Okay, Jim will always
person.
do the
Yeah,
tasting.
of course.
Oh, just a little bite.
So then, how's that?
What's the verdict?
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
amazing.
And I just want to try because it'll go really well with this.
Just try it all.
Segment.
That's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Okay. Wonderful. Pilar, thank you.
Yeah.
And these are available here, like every day, or is this a special
No,
to the
this
event?
is
for
a
the
specialty event.
Make
Yeah.
sure you know that for the event on the 16th. Right, okay, cheers.
Awesome. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
More waffles.
Well, we're back here with John from One Coffee to talk about a special event February 16th, and it's free.
It's free, yeah. We're going to be down at Shambar for our 2nd annual restaurant takeover event. We're inviting the public to register online and join us for a free brunch and coffee tasting. Learn more about coffee, enjoy a great brunch, and maybe some cocktails, coffee cocktails.
And people can find out more. Tickets, even though it's free event, tickets are available as of February 1st.
Yeah, if you go to the One Coffee social media links, you can register there. It's absolutely free, and join us. It'll be fantastic.
Well, we'll see you there.
That's right. And we'll also have more information at the end of our show. Look for that in the closing credits. John, thank you for joining us today, and thanks for educating our viewers more about One Coffee. And thanks to Shambar, and thanks to Kate from Cambercom. Okay, can we eat and drink more now?
Let's drink.
Cheers. Well, we're back here at the Homer Street Cafe on the edge of Yaletown, as we like to say, and we've gone from cocktails and wine, and now we're going to talk delicious food with Nathan.
Thanks, Nathan. You've got some beautiful dishes in front of us. Now, a little birdie told us that you're the #1 customer of Soul Foods, which is a local gardening, I guess it's a program, and you also purchase pretty much everything local. So describe some of these dishes, whichever one you want to get started with.
All right, let's start with the rotisserie chicken. This one we have in our big old red rotisserie downstairs, which you can see from the street if you walk by. This one we always pair with our rotisserie potatoes. They sit in the bottom, they collect the juice from that chicken.
Ooh, very nice.
Some good chicken gravy, as well as our house coleslaw.
Delicious. Okay.
This one is a feature that we run from time to time, usually towards the weekends. It's the bison strip loin. And this one we've paired with a rice pilaf, as well as some charred broccolini on there.
And in front, you've got kind of an appetizer, like salad type light beginnings to the evening.
Yeah. The light, but they are definitely not to be missed.
Okay.
So this one, the tuna crudo, The albacore tuna itself is ocean-wise.
Perfect.
And this one, so our beet salad with the golden beets doesn't look like your regular beetroot, not the purples, but and this one we have goat cheese on there. So we have caramelized goat cheese on top, which you can see everywhere, as well as a goat cheese mousse on the bottom.
Oh, delicious. Now, I understand that this is one of your signature dishes that you'll never, ever get rid of.
No.
But this one is seasonal, but like you said, you bring it back from time to time. I imagine if people want it and there's a demand that you're going to bring dishes back over and over and over again. More seasonal kind of salads. And so what is your favorite?
You can never go wrong with chicken. You never can.
I should say, and I've been holding a fork the whole time during this interview. You can tell I'm eager to dig in, but I want to tell you, because I come here quite often, you guys make also a great burger. It's not out here today, but a fantastic burger here. And how often are you changing? Lita said it's seasonal, but are you bringing new things in, taking things out that aren't seasonal? You just want to mix it up?
Well, that's the good thing about running features. We can do everything. I mean, even though we do run seasonal menus every 3-4 months, we can bring in things that are within those seasons. So like a couple weeks here, and it sort of crosses over not in those particular time zones.
Very nice. And local is so important too. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, this looks amazing, and I know Jim is dying to dig in as I am. So thank you again. Looks absolutely incredible.
And by the way, note to our show, we can never have a chef on who has a lower voice than mine. So it's not
sorry.
That's okay. Nathan, thank you. And we're going to dig in here. And thanks to Kate and Amanda from Canberra Communications. We've had a great time here. Homer Street Cafe, right at the corner of Homer and Smythe on the edge of Yaletown. If you're watching in the rest of the country, come check this out. Thank you.
No worries.
Digging in time. Lita, dig in.
This edition of On the Town has been brought to you by Genesis Richmond, a new kind of all-inclusive luxury experience.
Closed captioning for this episode of Our City Tonight has been brought to you by Gyrostone Limited, home exteriors that last a lifetime.
Well, we're back here at Hubcast Studios, where we end all of our shows.
That's right. We hope you enjoyed this edition of Our City Tonight. I'm Jim Gordon.
I'm Lita Leapins.
We'll see you next time on Our City Tonight.
Genesis Richmond. Test drive, purchase, maintenance. They come to you.
Special thanks to One Coffee. Don't forget their annual restaurant takeover event will be held this February 16th at Shambar. Tickets are free and will be available to the first 150 guests that sign up on February 1st. To get the link, go to One Coffee's social media channels.